Currently, around 60% of the UK adult population are either overweight or obese. We all know that to keep in shape, we should be eating less and doing more, but I bet you've never considered what impact your sleeping habits may have on your waistline. Here at Birmingham Heartlands Hospital, researchers have been exploring the link between sleep and weight, and there's evidence to suggest that not getting enough sleep may play a part in our ever-expanding waistlines. So why is your research just focused on people who aren't getting enough sleep, short sleepers?
With the increasing use of technology, the first thing to be shortened is sleep, because people want to cram as much as they can into their lifestyle.
Why does being a short sleeper mean that you're possibly more likely to have a weight problem?
What we found was that short sleepers actually had increased amounts of ghrelin. Ghrelin is commonly referred to as a hunger hormone. Levels of this increase before we eat and decrease after we've eaten. And the other hormone that was identified, appetite-regulating hormone, was a hormone called leptin. Leptin is signalling to the brain how full you are. So levels of leptin were actually lower in sleep-deprived people. So hence, they would eat more before they became full.
And might that be why people who've not had sleep or are very tired feel a bit peckish?
Yes, absolutely.
A group of One Show viewers has agreed to let us monitor their sleep over 5 weeks.
The point of the experiment here is you're all short sleepers, and we want to give you the education.
These volunteers are classified as short sleepers, so they currently sleep for 6 hours or less a night.
I usually go to bed by about 1, but I won't get like a straight 6 hours sleep. I'll be up again maybe 3 o'clock.
On average about 6 hours a night, but that could be as little as 3 or 4.
For our experiment, they'll be asked to extend their sleep to over 7 hours a night.
So what we want to do is see if we can improve your sleep and see how that impacts on your health and your other behaviours. So you are 100 and...
As a measure, we'll record their blood pressure and weight,
You can write it.
and we'll also supply them with sleep diaries and a sleep monitoring watch. They've been told the experiment is about sleep and health, but not about weight loss. So they don't change their existing diet or exercise habits.
Good luck, everybody, and we'll see you in 5 weeks.
3 weeks into the experiment, and sleeping habits are changing.
In order to sleep more, I have started to read in bed. I haven't watched the television in bed because that was a distraction.
I'm getting more sleep in one stretch, whereas before I was getting a lot of broken sleep.
Our volunteers have spent the last 5 weeks trying to extend the amount of time they spend asleep, and I'm back here at Birmingham Heartlands Hospital to meet up with our volunteers and reveal the results of the sleep experiment. I'm pleased to say there's a group, you've added 4.5 hours to your sleeping, so that's an average of just over an hour each per person. But we had another motive. We were interested in the relationship between how much you're sleeping and your weight. And as a group, I can tell you that you've lost 11 kilos, that's 25 pounds, just under 2 stone over the 5-week period. Pretty significant. And Teresa, there's a couple of other themes that you found particularly interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. So we looked at your appetite before and after the intervention, the sleep intervention, and what we found was that all 4 of you consistently preferred less sweet foods, less salty foods, and less carbohydrate-dense foods. Something else that we noticed is that you were all less hungry after the intervention.
Sue, our gold medalist, 9 kilo weight loss. How much of that do you think was due to the fact that you've had a better night's sleep?
You're more aware of what you're doing, whereas if you're tired, you're just not bothered. I'm not as hungry as I was previously, whereas before I was snacking on stupid things first thing in the morning. I'm not now.
It's never going to be an alternative to a healthy eating regime or lots of exercise, but if you have problems sleeping and you're not getting enough, then taking steps to extend the amount of time you spend asleep to more than 7 hours a night could help. And you could be on your way to sleeping yourself slimmer.
So we've been joined by Dr. Mark Porter. Now then, Mark, how much weight can we actually lose in a year by getting the right amount of sleep?
Well, on the basis of our mini experiment, quite a lot, but I'm afraid it's not that simple. And if you sleep more than 7 hours, it's unlikely that the sleep's going to be affecting your appetite or your weight. And even if you do go to bed more, you have to do a little bit more than just go to bed. But it's an interesting effect,
Okay.
and probably one that you've all experienced, that, you know, if you have a night up and you're not getting enough sleep, you feel a bit peckish and eat a load of rubbish the next day. And that's possibly why.
Amanda, do you have a bedtime routine? Can you get off to sleep easily?
Yeah, I usually build a big nest. Nice sort of gorgeous pillows. So that's the answer.
That's the key, isn't it?
And of course,
Takes me half an hour getting rid of those throw cushions and that on our bed before I
don't
get into bed
start.
anyway.
You have to have a scatter cushion.
All right.
But I think if you lost weight while you sleep, I'd go to sleep for about 56
For days.
Yeah,
If you sleep for too long, the effect is reversed. That makes sense.
Is there anything specific we should be eating or drinking before?
I think avoidance is the main thing. Don't have a nightcap. A little bit of alcohol actually can disrupt the quality of your sleep. Avoid caffeine, and that's things like tea, coffee and colas after about 4 o'clock the night before. And preferably don't eat too late either. But the main thing is try and get up at the same time every morning so you go to bed tired and don't nap during the day.
Right, okay.
No lie-ins.
And what about the bedroom? Should we avoid televisions?
Yeah, I mean, modern gadgets. So as we heard in the film there, laptops, TVs, smartphones, leave them well out. And some people say don't even read. Sleep in bed.
I'm terrible, me, for having to have a quick game.
I can imagine.
But put it away.
The shipping forecast.
That's different. Radio 4 is different.
That helps.
OK, thanks very much, Mark. Thanks. Now, early in the show, we asked you to send in your pictures of your newborn babies. And I told you we'd get some 150 of them
That's
we've
impressive.
had.
Fair
Amanda, would you like to show yours first?
OK, this is a very early little baby Rudd, who was born at 2:28 this morning, weighing 8 pounds 4 ounces to Paul and Natalie Rudd.
This is Harry William Thompson, born last night from proud granddad Brian and Auntie Heather. Lovely.
Lovely. This is, Nick, Joe and Toby are celebrating the birth of Tess Isabel Rhodes, born at 11:06 this morning. Mum and Dad watching the show with a bottle of champagne.
And that's it for tonight. Our thanks to Amanda. Waterloo Road is on BBC One at 8 p.m. Wednesday, the 1st of September.
Tomorrow, a proper funny man, Alexis Sale, is here. Night-night.
Night-night.